every day I don't feel like doing things that I still do. It's called discipline. It's called being a man. It's not about feeling like doing it. If you only do things you feel like doing, you know what you end up doing?
What?
You end up sitting around with a belly. That's what you end up doing if you only do what you feel like doing. You have to wake up and say, I don't feel like training, but I must train. I will only drink water. I will stop being a loser. I will follow the word of Tate.
I have a question.
That's what you need to do.
Can I get
Whether it's hard, you need to do what you're supposed to do, not what you feel like doing.
Yeah.
That's the difference between a man and a child. You do not become a man doing what you feel like doing. You become a man doing what you're supposed to do. The men of the Titanic didn't feel like dying that day. It's your duty. It is your duty to not be a fat piece of but you up. As a man, if you don't make yourself valuable, you have no value. You have to get up and do it. Just like a video game, you start with 0. You have to decide if you want to complete it. You have to upgrade your character. So I find it amazing that men are going to play video games and waste their time instead of upgrading their character. Everyone knows what to do. You know what you have to do.
Right.
If you had to become the most dangerous, intelligent, respectable man on the planet, you know you're supposed to go to the gym. You know you're supposed to train, learn how to fight. You know all these things. You don't do them. That's your decision. It's your prerogative. I didn't make that choice. I made the choice to do it all. I decided all. And every single man watching this can do the exact same thing. We're living in a comfortable world now where people think, oh, it doesn't matter. But you know what? To some degree, it does matter. It does matter, and I'll tell you who it matters to. It matters to your soul, and it matters to God. I stand in the mirror with a pure heart. I know I am the best version of me that could possibly ever exist. I know that God is proud of me. God hates sloth and laziness. If you cannot control your own mind, then you are just a feather in the wind of life. Because your own mind is the only thing you can control. You can't control the weather. You can't control people. You can't even control whether your heart stops beating. You might have a heart attack tomorrow. You can't control anything besides what you think. If you cannot control your own mind, then you go through life with 0 control, 0 influence. You can't control anything. You're just a feather in the wind, waiting for life to blow you from happy place to sad place to happy place to sad place. But just like you play the video game on hard mode, when you win, you get a higher score. There is no better existence than a top tier male. The things happen to people, and things are going to happen to everyone. And even if you live the perfect life, you're still going to have bad experiences because everything's relative.
Yeah.
So small things are going to be big.
Yeah.
And you have to learn to get on with it and be disciplined. And if you don't have a disciplined upbringing, you don't learn to go through hard times, you're just going to end up one of those people who just is a complete feather in the wind. You just succumb to your emotions.
Yeah.
And that makes you either, or as a man, also makes you dangerous. These people, these serial killers and these school shooters and all these things, these are people who just give in on their emotions instantly. These are people with no self-control. And they never had anyone sit and say to them, I don't care how you feel, you're not allowed to act that way.
Yeah.
And that's it. So when they feel a certain way, they think, well, I'm going to act this way then.
Yeah.
And that's what's dangerous. And then when people talk about toxic masculinity and all this garbage and we need to make men more feminine, that's not going to make men, it's not going to make the world safer.
Yeah.
Having a whole bunch of men who give in to their emotions instantly is going to create more monsters.
Yeah.
A bunch of babies and a bunch of monsters. The reality of masculinity is controlling your emotions. This is the reality of being a man. They try and say that men should give in and it's okay to cry. I'm not saying you can never cry if something bad doesn't happen to you. I'm saying that the tenets of masculinity since the dawn of time have been, I was afraid, but I did anyway.